Dreams are the projection of subconscious with the collaboration of the mental forces in the physical.
Here the projection means an estimate of a future situation based on a study of present trends, but the more likely definition for projection used here would be the presentation of moving images, including sounds, to your physical mind. So the soul or subconscious forces is doing the projection to your physical mind while you're asleep. There are three possible mental forces operating within you as a dreamer when you are asleep. One is your physical mind or consciousness. Two, your soul mind, which is the subconscious, which stores all information. Your soul mind is also the central processing unit, or CPU from the computer terms. And three, your spirit mind, which is the superconsciousness or cosmic consciousness. This is the actual master processor, the truth giver, light giver. So those are the three types of mind or mental forces operating within you while you're asleep.
Dreams are the actions of the subconscious forces of the body manifested through that state, when the conscious forces of the physical body are subjugated.
So here the dreams are the actions of the soul or subconscious forces, giving information or projecting images and sounds to your physical mind while you are asleep or subjugated. Subjugated means under control.
Dreams are the emanations from the conscious, subconscious, or superconscious, or the combination and correlation of each, depending upon the individual and the personal development of the individual, and are to be used in the lives of such for the betterment of such individual.
Here dreams come from your physical mind or consciousness, your soul mind or subconsciousness, and your spiritual mind, superconscious, or the combination of the three, depending on your level of development, and used for the benefit of the dreamer. So notice here again the three minds in operation within you: the physical mind, the soul mind, which is the subconscious forces, and the spiritual mind, the superconsciousness.
Dreams are the relations found between the conscious existence of forces and self that reach through the subconscious forces of the body.
So here again the soul or subconscious forces is doing the processing, which is reached through the subconscious forces of the body.
Dreams are correlations of the physical with the subconscious forces of the body.
So here the soul is working together with the physical mind. Soul here is the subconscious forces. The word correlating means connections, relationships, assessments, which are done by the soul, and from there the soul creates the images and sounds that are passed back to the dreamer through the physical mind.
Dreams manifested through the consciousness are gained from the subconscious forces.
So here the soul or subconscious forces is giving information or manifesting dreams to the physical mind.
The subconscious mental forces make manifest through physical mental those conditions brought by the mental force of the body.
So here the soul or subconscious mental forces gives or reflects back or manifests to the physical mind conditions, situations, trends, assessments, or what is happening to the mind of the physical body, physical mind.
Dreams in parts are brought to the physical consciousness of the conditions made manifest in the subconscious. Portions of the dream give the realization of mentality having passed through an experience, as seen in this dream.
So here the soul or subconscious forces are manifesting back to the physical mind conditions or experiences happening to the physical mind.
We see the awakening of the conscious forces correlating with the subconscious force of the individual. These correlations are then presented to the entity in the form of vision or dream.
Here the soul or subconscious forces processes the information received and then presents it to the physical mind. All the connections and relationships and assessments in the form of images or dreams and visions.
Dreams are the presentations of conditions weighed between subconscious and the conscious forces in the cosmic or subjection of the physical consciousness. Yet through the vision of that physical force of the subconscious are brought to the consciousness in dream vision. See? Dreams may be used as lessons for a more perfect understanding of those mental forces that manifest in the physical world.
So here the soul weighs the situation and conditions happening in the physical mind. So notice here that the spirit mind or cosmic is mentioned. So cosmic or superconsciousness is involved here. Subjection of the physical consciousness means while the physical mind is asleep, while the dreamer is asleep.
Dreams come to the entity in those forms of the physical, of the spiritual, of the subconscious, and when studied aright may give the understanding that the entity may gain the more perfect knowledge concerning manifested forces of that creative force in the physical world.
So three forms of dreams are presented here from the physical mind or consciousness, soul mind or subconscious forces, spirit mind or superconsciousness, and all of these gives the understanding to the dreamer for a better knowledge regarding God and his forces in the physical world.
Dreams are these, the interpretation through the subconscious forces of that carried in the mental forces of body-mind, and may be used in the manner that will bring the better understanding of phenomenized conditions to the body-mind. See?
So dreams are interpretations of the soul or subconscious forces of what is carried in the physical mind and may be used for the better understanding of the situations happening to the dreamer. Dreamer here is the entity.
Dreams are the correlations of physical conditions and mental conditions that are weighed, correlated through the subconscious forces for the entity to use.
Here dreams are connections and relationships of what is happening in the mind by the soul or subconscious forces and is passed on to the physical mind for the dreamer to use. So what is passed on to the physical mind are images and sounds, which are called dreams.
Dreams, visions, and impressions gained in the experiences through the subconscious forces are giving to the entity lessons that may be applied in the physical body, the physical mind, in the material manner outlined for the body.
So here the soul or subconscious forces receives experiences and then makes connections and relationships or does assessments and then passes the information back to the physical mind or consciousness for its use in its daily life.
Lessons gained from dreams are the truths that come to the entity by making the entity in attunement and adornment with those universal forces into which the body-conscious mind enters when in the somnambulist state or in sleep for the subconscious force to operate on.
No comments needed here. I think it's self-explanatory.
Dreams are those conditions in the consciousness of the entity, varying in their phases by conditions presented from time to time as the body conscious varies in its action. See? In the physical forces many subjugations cause many variations. For the subconscious is more active in that stage when the body consciousness is subjugated to physical laws.
So So here the soul or subconscious forces are more active, are in action, while the physical mind is asleep. So when you go to sleep, the soul becomes alive or active, and dreams are the reflections of the soul of the situations, conditions happening to your physical mind.
Dreams are the subconscious through the psychic soul forces manifested in the individual, giving to the mental those lessons that may be used by the entity as the manifestations of the phenomenized force manifest through self or through others.
So here, soul or psychic, they both mean the same thing, or subconscious forces, gives to the physical mind lessons that the dreamer may use for oneself or for others.
Dreams are the interpretation of physical conditions that are carried through mental forces into the subconscious and correlated there with conditions from cosmic forces that bring experiences and conditions to the physical mind in dream.
So here the physical conditions are happening in a person's life are passed on to the soul or subconscious forces, and after the connections and relationships and assessments are made with the help of the spirit mind, which is the cosmic or superconscious forces of truths that are to be made, are then passed on to the physical mind for its use in daily life.
Dreams and visions are those correlations of body-mind conditions weighed with subconscious forces of entity.
So here the soul or subconscious forces weighs the conditions of the physical mind by forming relationships and connections. That's the meaning of correlations or assessments, and then it passes it back to the physical mind for the dreamer to use.
Dreams are the correlations through the subconscious forces of physical actions in the material world, weighed with cosmic experiences in the spiritual world, and give those lessons through which the body-mind, the body physical, the body spiritual, may develop in the material world. See?
Here the dreams are the connections and relationships made by the soul or subconscious forces of the dreamer's actions and experiences in the physical world, and are assessed with the help of the spirit mind or superconscious forces, and are given back to the dreamer, the entity, as lessons to be used in its life in the physical world.
Dreams are the correlations of the conditions that are carried in the mental of the entity, and through the subconscious correlated into physical actions that bring to the mind lessons that may be applied in the daily life.
So here the dreams are the connections, relationships, assessments made by the soul or subconscious forces. Notice here that the soul is very active while you're asleep, and so it gets all the information from the physical mind or consciousness, then it processes that information, then it gives it back to the physical mind in a more forms of lessons, so that it passes on to the dreamer as lessons to be applied in the dreamer's life.